I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, can I borrow your towel? There was a great movie. It's probably 20, 25 years ago it came out. It was a movie with Chevy Chase, and he played this detective who was basically a ladies' man, and everything always kind of went his way. It was called Fletch. And you can still rent it, and it's a great movie. And there was this part in this movie where he's investigating this criminal activity that's going on, and it turns out the guy that he's investigating is married to this really pretty lady, and apparently he's also married to another woman in another state that this particular woman doesn't know about. And so he goes over to her, it's part of a country club or something like that, and she's got this private cottage. And so he goes and he knocks on the door, and she comes to the door with nothing but a towel wrapped around her, and he looks down and he goes, can I borrow your towel for a sec? My car just hit a water buffalo. And it was a great line because it's just, that's the way he is with all women. Charming, funny, sweet, kind of naughty. And obviously she's married. But he ends up later sleeping with her because it turns out that the guy she's married to is a total scumbag, and he was only married to her for the money, and he was actually in love with another woman that he was married to, illegally of course. But it was just a great movie because he's that way with women all the time. Charming, saying things that are a little outrageous, kind of mischievous, and just throws things out there. And so I got an email here from a guy who has this girl that he's friends with, and for a while he'd been dating another woman, and he just broke up with her recently. But this friend of his doesn't know yet that he's broken up with her, and so he goes over she invites him to come over and hang out, and he goes over there, and then she answers the door with a towel wrapped around her, and that's just one instance. And there's apparently other instances where he thinks that she wants him, basically. So let's take a look here and see what he has to say. He says, "Hey Corey, what's going on? I have a question for you. I told you about my female friend who I got the vibe that she wants to fuck me. Now we're supposed to be just friends. I've known her since high school. She doesn't know I am single at the moment because I haven't told her yet. But she always tells me not to cheat and work on my relationship. Mind you, she has no clue that I am single now. So I go over there just to chill out and drink. She answered the door in just a towel, and she had just gotten out of the shower. And she had ample time to take a shower and get ready before I got there. Now my thing is she trying to get me to fuck her, or is she just comfortable with me? That's kind of hard to tell. It could be that she's really comfortable with you, and also could be trying to see what you do with it, because in her mind, you're unavailable because, as far as she knows, you still have this girlfriend of yours. And so when a pretty girl that I'm friends with shows up, I say all kinds of shit, and even if we're friends, they'll roll their eyes at me like, typical bratty little sister, big brother kind of bantering and messing with, and so there's all kinds of things that you can say to her. It's basically what you want to do is, when I talk about like 90% of the time you want to be a charming James Bond, and 10% of the time you want to be the kid that flushes the M80 down the toilet at school. And a long time ago, really my parents' generation, when they were growing up, they had these really big, they were a lot more than firecrackers, they were called M80s. And I think they were like a quarter of a stick of dynamite or something like that. And so kids in the old days, in the 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, used to throw them in people's mailboxes and light them. And they also had waterproof wicks on them, so you could throw them in people's mailboxes, and when they blew up, it would just completely obliterate people's mailboxes. And kids thought it was funny, and it was a fun prank to do. And so they were always blowing shit up. And the thing with these M80s is they had a wick that was waterproof, and so you could throw them in the water and they'd blow up. And some kids used to take them to school, light them on fire as a practical joke, and then flush the toilet. And so at some point, as it gets 10, 15 feet down the line, the thing blows up, and of course blows a hole open in the sewage pipe. And it's a big funny thing because nobody knows who did it. Obviously nobody will admit who did it. But it's kind of the mentality. It's the bad boy mentality. It's not that you're being a dick or you're committing crimes or anything. It's just you kind of say things every 10% of the time that are a little outrageous. And so she comes to the door and she's in a towel, and you say, "Hey, can I borrow that?" Or you say something like, "Oh, wow, my Christmas present. Well, I think you can go ahead and unwrap yourself right now. I'm ready." surprise me. You can say stuff like that and see what she says, and then she turns around and spank her in the ass as she goes back to her room. Or you say things, are you trying to communicate something with me, or is this sexual innuendo? You're hoping that I'll just take this towel off and have my way with you? Is that what you've done? You've wrapped yourself up as a little gift for me, and all I have to do is just one little flick of the wrist, and off comes the towel, and all kinds of naughty fun things will happen. And I say things like that with a shit-eating grin on your face, and that's the best way to approach that situation. And then just sit there with kind of the James Bond smirk, knowing that you said something that was a little naughty, and hey, she's your friend, and at the end of the day, if she gets pissed off and offended, who cares, because you love her and you're just messing with her anyways. And see what she does, see what happens, and see how she reacts. Now, if she likes you, she'll tease you, and if you get some kind of hint or indication, like simple thing you can do if she's doing that, look at her lips and into her eyes, and then her lips and then back her eyes again over the course of 4 or 5 seconds. And if she looks at your lips at any point while you're doing that, then just grab her and kiss her. Or you can say, get your ass over here and kiss me. Bring those sweet lips over here and kiss me. Take your towel off and come over here and kiss me. Anything. Just be playful and be willing to say something that you don't give. I mean, what's the worst you can say? You're friends with her, you're busting on her, you're teasing her, you're being playful. And if she has interest, she'll play with it and she'll reciprocate it back and forth. But like I said, there's lots of different ways you can approach it, and I say really ridiculous, outrageous things. Sometimes borderline, oh, I can't believe you said that, or because most guys, a lot of times when I'm talking to them and I'm coaching them, I tell them things to say, they just can't believe, they're flabbergasted, and it's like, well, that's what you're really thinking. Just say it. Be honest. Speak from your heart. If you like a girl, communicate that you find her attractive. You can just simply say, I want you. You're amazing. I want you. When you meet a girl and you can tell there's chemistry there, you don't need to go through the whole process of the date or this or that. You can just say that. Why don't we get out of here so we can go someplace and be alone together? If she likes you and she's feeling it and you're in that vibe, that energy that you exude like the captain of the football team does, she'll go with you. Let's get through the rest of the things here. He says, why would she open the door like that when she thinks I'm still in a relationship? And she could be trying to entice you. Women are like that because you're more of a catch now that you actually had, or at least that she thinks you have a girlfriend. And women are just like that, man. They're a little mischievous too. I made it also, I wanted to, or he says, I made it clear with her that I wanted to sleep with her as well as while I was in a relationship. I know women bluff the test to see what we're going to do, and sex has to be our fault, of course. He says she always calls to come over if I'm stressing out. And I would say if you're stressing out, you shouldn't be treating her like your shrink or somebody that you, I mean, because if you're sharing your weaknesses, you want to share your weaknesses with your buddies and crying your beer with your buddies. But this girl, if you're trying to hook up with her and you're friends with her, you don't need to be spilling your guts and telling her all your weaknesses and all your shortcomings. Put your best foot forward. Love is playful and fun. It's not serious. And so instead of going over there and talking about all this drama, because remember, women are emotional beings, and if you start talking about all your drama and your emotions or when you're stressed out or whatever, that's the vibe. That's the energy that you're pumping into your relationship. But if you're just hanging out with her and keeping it funny, keeping it light, just having a good time, I mean, at the end of the day, girls just want to have fun. So if you want to get laid, talk about things that her lover would talk about. If you want to just end up as her friend, then go over there and complain about your life and your problems and all the things that aren't going well. And she'll keep you as a friend always. He says, is this chick trying to seduce me? And I would say maybe. Like I said, try next time she does this shit or you're over there, just throw those things out there every now and then. Maybe 10% of the time that you're with her, throw out some sexual innuendo and see what she does with it. And if she hints at any way that she may be possibly positive to it or open to that, then just say, get your ass over here and kiss me. I think you need to stop torturing yourself and staying away from me and just get your ass over here and kiss me. Just go for it. What's the worst she could say? She's going to giggle and laugh at you and have fun with it. Or make it easy for me to sleep with her even though she is dating other people. I mean, the bottom line is women like sex just as much as we do. And if you have a non-attached attitude, meaning you could take it, you'd love to have sex with her, but you're just as happy never having sex with her. It doesn't matter. Either way, you can take it or leave it. You'd love to have it. It'd be a gift. But if you don't, the way deep down you feel is, hey, it's your loss. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going to my website, understandingrelationships.com. Click the PayPal donate button, which is on the bottom right-hand side of the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen, and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this video with all your friends and family by clicking the share buttons, which are right at the top of this video, thanks to YouTube. And if you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs maximum detailing your questions, your situation, or your challenge, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I got a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers, and I obviously got to focus on their emails first, but be patient, and I will get back to you. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session, and you can do that by clicking the Products tab at the top of any of your screen on any page of my website, understandingrelationships.com, and just follow the instructions for booking a paid phone coaching session with yours truly. And I will talk to you soon.